Welcome back to the Birchmount Buzz Podcast, where we break myths, drop gems, and build futures. My name is Abanti Das.
And my name is Damian.
Ackeem Shirley.
All right, guys, I'm super excited. Of course, we're all super excited to be here on the second episode. So, how are you guys feeling today? What's going on? Any news? Any exciting stuff going on?
Okay, I'll go first. I just found out that I'll do my surgery for my foot, and after my healing process, I'll go to the army, do skill trades in there, electrical, plumbing, no, welding.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's my main goal.
Wow, that's interesting.
Do my healing process.
How long will it take to heal?
I heard it's 3 months, probably less.
Oh,
So it was a minor injury.
That's not
okay.
bad.
Yeah.
And good luck with that. Good luck with the
Thanks.
healing process. Right. So, how are you doing, Abanti? What's going on?
Well, I heard back from university.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can we get a
Okay.
Yes, congratulations.
Well, I got all my offers now, so now it's time for accepting universities,
zoom off.
getting everything together.
Yeah. That's exciting. Congratulations.
It's the next step of life.
Okay. Congratulations, guys. So today in the podcast room, we have someone exciting, as today we'll be talking about a bit more about, the skill trades and how it plays out within high schools around TDSB and what the school community is basically doing to amplify, more information around the skill trades and pushing a lot of students into that space. And there is no better person to discuss about this topic than Mr. Sygounas. Drum roll. Literally, welcome to our space, and we're so excited to have you, Mr. Sygounas. How are you feeling?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me.
Are you excited to be here?
It's first time ever doing a podcast, so
Interested.
Did you even hear about us?
I've been hearing about you all the time.
But
What did you hear about us?
That you were doing a podcast on skilled trades, or at least starting off on that. So
did it give you excitement?
it did, because it introduces a part of the school that many people don't quite see.
Okay.
That's true.
So you feel like we're giving you a spotlight, especially because of the type of work that you do?
For sure. We usually get isolated in our corner.
Yeah.
Those that are interested do see us, but a lot of the people might walk by our rooms and have no idea what we do in there.
I'll ask this question: why skill trades? Why did you pick it?
It was a family.
Okay.
It was a family thing. My father was in the skilled trades. I helped out. I worked with him when I was young. He brought me along summers. I always worked with him. I actually started working where he worked as well.
Oh.
And then it just one thing led to another. I actually did go to university for engineering, but my father got into a major accident, and so I had to drop out of university and went straight into the skilled trades
Okay.
in the same place where he was, and I basically took it on.
Oh.
Right.
Before we even go into more questions, I just wanted to, for the audience to get to know you. So who is Mr. Sygounas? What do you do all round?
Now I teach.
Just a question.
That is a very deep question. Now I am a teacher. I've been teaching for about 18 years. Before that, I was in the trades for about 15 years or so. My father was a welder fitter. I ended up following in his footsteps. I was looking at going into engineering to see if I can go further with that, but I ended up going back into the skilled trades. And from there, because of that engineering aspect that I did have under my belt, I was able to move up very quickly up the chain of command, and was able to be in charge of sites by my late 20s, and was basically into management in my 30s.
Wow.
Right, so I moved up fairly quickly. I was also at the right place at the right time with the right skill sets. Computers were just starting to become big and part of the industry. This was early 2000s, late 1990s.
Yeah.
And everyone that was in industry at that time, who were in their 50s or 60s, did not want to learn anything about computers. And so they got the young guy to look at it. So I had the right skill sets, right place, right time, and was able to move up fairly quickly because of that.
So you talked about being at the right place and the right time with the right skill set. So what do you feel about, especially this day and age, students of this day and age, and where you come from, as a young person getting into skilled trades? How would you compare right now where we are and the world generally and how skilled trades plays out and how it's viewed compared to when you were coming in as a young person?
So the classic saying, luck, is having the right skill set at the right time to take advantage of an opportunity. That still plays out today. The skill sets might be a little different, but you still want to build as much skill sets and have under your belt as much as possible so that you're ready for any opportunity that arises that you can take advantage of. That's luck.
So
would you say, like how you teach skill trades in the school, would you say like our students are prepared for it as it goes into college?
No. To college, yes. Once upon a time, even before my generation, students coming straight out of high school were basically apprentices straight into the workplace. Nowadays, and the reason why that is because they had industrial arts back in grade 7, grade 8, grade 9, 10, 11, 12. So they would have 4 or 5 years under their belts of learning. Now we could have students coming in at grade 11 for the very first time. So they don't really have that much in terms of experience. It's more of an intro.
So do you think I could leave school right at this age and make a decent money to like no college, no uni?
So this is what people mistake when we talk about trades. They think, oh, we don't need to learn anything. And that's the furthest thing from the truth. To become a skilled tradesperson, you need 4 years of learning minimum. Electricians need 5 or even 6 years of learning. And the learning is different. It's not in a classroom. It's not in that kind of setting. It's not your traditional classroom setting. It is on a job site. But the thing is, you are learning, and that's what I try to emphasize. What skill sets you learn from me might not be necessary. You might not need them. Some of the basics you will, but some of the specifics that I teach because of the machines that we have, you might not use. I didn't even use half the machines that are in the shop. I never used. So I learned them when I became a teacher because I had other skill sets, but they were transferable.
Now to move on to the questions that we have for you, actually. Now these are your interview guest questions. Are you ready?
I guess so.
Okay. So we have, what's one success story of a student who pursued a skilled trade and thrived of yours?
So one of my first students that I've had when I first got into teaching, he was a student, it was at a previous school that I was at. He did not like math, did not like going to classes. He hung out quite a bit in my shop environment, really loved welding with a oxyacetylene torch, so soldering. He ended up going into the trades as a plumber. He did a co-op placement, ended up working for that same company after he graduated. I kept making sure that he knew the math, that I instilled in him that math was really important.
By him, like as a mentor?
Correct. And well, I explained to him why the math was important to know. And he ended up working for this company and buying his own truck, ended up starting his own company, has hired friends from high school as apprentices.
Do you know the company?
No, probably not.
Yeah, no need to name drop.
And he is basically in his early 30s right now, has been able to purchase a home in East York. Success story.
That's an amazing success story.
To the point where I even hired him to come and do some work at my house.
Amazing.
Right.
That's amazing
and
success
it worked.
Story.
So there was no leaks, no nothing. So good.
That's a student you trust.
Yeah, talking about basically interest in general, I wanted to know, what was one thing that got you into skilled trades? Like, what's that thing that, that made you want to go into?
The pride of seeing buildings that you have put your hard work into, your blood, sweat, and tears. I am part owner of all those buildings, even though I do not own any of them. Every time I'm driving by, whether it's with my kids, I say,
that's
I
my
did
work.
that, I did that.
I did that.
That's my building, that's my building.
Literally.
And there's plenty of them, even in this immediate area.
Yeah.
I did work on Variety Village, early 2000s. We rebuilt the whole front end.
Wow.
We did a new renovation afterwards, basically adding on top of what I had done.
Yeah.
I also did the community center down at the bottom of
Oh.
the hill.
You're still
We
the-
built that. We built that brand new.
To end your interview questions out, just tell us one advice that you would give to one of the students that would go into skill trades.
Have the willingness to learn. That's
Mhm.
the one thing. Going back on the luck aspect, having the right skill sets, you are going into the trades learning just like you would be going to university for a 4-year degree.
Yeah.
Have that same mindset. You want to learn as much as you can because you can use that to further your career, make more money, become the best at the trade where you are in demand and not you begging other people to take you on. They want you rather than the other way around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And to finally finish off, I just want you to do a very simple thing for me. So let's say we have someone, preferably a high school student, who's possibly considering going into skill trades. I want you to convince that kid to choose skill trades. What would you say to them?
If you like working with your hands, if you like being outside, if you like nature, if the weather doesn't bother you so much, and you don't want to sit behind a desk, the trades is a really viable pathway for you that will make a ton of money, that you will actually live really well. But you need to want to learn. You need to want to improve yourself as best as possible because you're not going to be sweeping.
Yeah.
You will start off doing that, and that's what I always tell co-op students, that your first job is going to be sweeping because it's the easiest thing to do. But you want to learn from that. You want to learn. You want to be observant as to what they do.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for
Thank you so much.
coming
Oh,
on
my pleasure.
and, of course, having this conversation with us. Thank you.
My pleasure. Anytime.